In this video, we're going to talk to Sabre West with Fidelity National Title, and she'll tell us what the title company does during the home buying process. Thanks, Sabre, for taking the time, and go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, y'all. Yes, as Peter said, I'm Sabre West with Fidelity National Title here in the Woodlands and our Champions location, but North Houston, all over kind of. But we are the place where you come to sign all of your papers and get to celebrate all the hard work you've put into buying this house. It is a negotiable item on the contract of what title company you are going to be closing at. And so the reason for that is that we issue a title insurance policy for you guys. So it is based on sales price. So that's going to be the same at every single title company. But once we get the contract, we are the ones that are kind of checking to make sure you are buying a home with a clear title. No liens on it, that there's nothing outstanding that we need to take care of. And so that's our main job. We're the neutral third party between you and the sellers and lender and realtors. We maintain the escrow account, which when you do sign a contract, you're going to be signing, writing a check to us that we'll hold on to until closing. And that just shows the sellers you guys are serious about buying the house and make sure that we're in good faith to move ahead. In a giant bubble.
In a giant bubble, right? So
yeah.
That's a quick summary of what you guys do, right? So with the title policy, have you seen any weird stuff come up that could potentially, kill a deal or be a big problem for you guys to overcome?
Weird stuff. So we do check the buyer and sellers when we do our search. So if there's any federal liens, if there's child support that's owed, that'll come up. Of course, if there's any mechanics liens on the house or vendor liens that we need to take care of, HOA, that's a really big one. If the sellers haven't been paying HOA, that they are able to report that and place a lien on the property as well. I think the main things are marital status. Sometimes that can be a little tricky.
That's a good one, yeah.
If they are separate, if you're separated or married, or we've got to know all of that up front, if your divorce isn't final or if it is final, because when we do the search, it's going to say so-and-so, a married man, a married woman, or have both of you guys on there. So we need to make sure that it's the correct spouse also that's coming to signing. We have had that.
A different spouse sign up to the...
Yeah, that's why we check IDs. So make sure that the right person's buying the house that we've done all of our work on for.
Perfect. And from a buyer's, and a lot of people watching this are first-time home buyers, right? Why do we need the title company? Can they close without using you guys, without the title company at all?
So title insurance, if you're getting a loan on the property, they're going to have a lender's policy on the property, and you will get the owner's policy it's called a simultaneous issue policy. That's way too much for now. But like I said, it is a negotiable item between the buyer and seller. However, it's the biggest purchase, most people's biggest purchase of their life. Your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance, those they assume risks, right? So we work to eliminate risks. We want to make sure that this investment that you guys are making is going to be your home free and clear. It's based on sales price, one-time fee, as long as you or the heirs own the property. So there are lots of instances that could arise, that you would hopefully not have to put your policy into place. But if you ever needed it, the whole purpose of the policy is that if it's a valid claim, that policy will cover your court costs to protect your property.
Right. And not only that, right? I mean, the title company, of course, this is where we actually close. So throughout,
yes.
We go 30 days in, 3-4 weeks in, we get to the closing table. And what can buyers expect then at the closing?
So you will show up and hopefully get you right into a room. We will, of course, ask for a valid ID to get everything started. And then we usually have a stack of papers. I'm not going to tell you how big it is, but be prepared to stay for about an hour and a half for signing. I know it sounds like a lot, but everything, we go over everything, make sure you understand what you're signing and review all the documents. So After we are done signing all of the documents that are actually provided, there's some of ours, some attorneys, and some from the lender. That once we've gone through all those, we send those back to the lender for review as well. So they've got to make sure that we've got the funds that you needed remaining to close and that all the documents were done correctly. And once we have approval from them, which could sometimes be immediate, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to review, that we can't, it's not fully funded until we have funding approval. And that's when you can get keys. So there's a little lag time by the time you probably finish signing with us. We usually say go across the water here to have lunch. Not get too far in case we needed you to come back, or if in case the keys are here, we can't release those until after we've got that. And then all is when you can have your celebration, and it's all signed, sealed, and delivered.
Right. Well, we actually, on the buyer side, we fund it 24 hours before closing, but you still have to wait on the sellers, right? So even though the
Yes.
buyers signed all the documents and you have the money there, you still have to make sure the seller signed and they did it completely. So you guys review both sides.
Absolutely.
And do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. No, I loved you guys fund sooner or fund that early, because we don't get that with everyone. So that's a huge plus. Once the sellers are in and hopefully they've come before you guys, then we can review everything and be done a lot sooner.
Right. And do you have maybe one extra tip to buyers, home buyers, something maybe that can help them make sure the process goes smoother?
Really, it's just, if we always ask for your full contact information up front. So if we don't have it from the realtor, main thing is just what makes our side easier is being able to contact you guys if we did need anything. Usually, sometimes we might need an HOA upfront payment if you're paying for that. We don't want any delays on collecting that information. Mostly, make sure you get all of the information and docs to your lender as soon as, to Peter, as soon as they request them, because that is where we're kind of can run into some delays. But on our end, just as long as we've got your information up to date and we can contact you and request what we're needing, absolutely a valid ID for sure. But if there's something as far as maybe a divorce, or if it's an estate, we're going to ask for certain documents to support that. And so just to be responsive on that end. Right.
And I always tell my clients that, in the process, the first week is a little crazy, right? You're going to get bombarded by emails and, things you need to get to us from the lender, from the agent, from
Yes.
the title company, from homeowners insurance. So just staying organized maybe and just keeping everything in one place does help,
Absolutely.
I mean, once we
oh, go ahead. I was going to say, once we've got the earnest money in our hands, then hopefully you guys can go forward and do your inspections and work on what you need to get to Peter on that end. And then if we need something, we've got a system on our side that will kind of automate and keep you updated of what we need and collect the information that we're needing. So if we need something additional, we'll absolutely reach out. But we want you guys to be able to focus on your inspections, and you've got packing and all these other fun things to get through. So hopefully when you get to us, then we can kind of wrap it all together and get our closing package and signed, sealed, and delivered.
Right. And I get a question also, do I get copies of all the documents that I'm signing? So they do, right? Both in paper and digitally. Yeah. Absolutely.
However you want it. We can make them hard copies. We can securely email them to you. We want to make sure you've got everything. You want to hang on to, there's certain documents you for sure want to hang on to, but if for some reason they were misplaced, then we'll have them on file for a certain amount of time that we can get back to you.
Right. And they can always, just something came up that when clients refinance down the road, sometimes they can easily reach out to you guys, right, and get a copy of the closing documents and a copy of the survey. That's something that comes up quite often.
Yes.
So they can always go back to the title company and request that from you guys, right?
Yes. I believe our retention period is 7 years. I could be
7 years. Okay.
Off on that, but that we'll have it available. So that's something I would certainly hang on to if you can at all times. But if you need to, we are happy to pull it back up and resend it, because you'll definitely need those in the future. Hopefully, if you're not changing anything on the property, then definitely It can be used for as long as you've got it.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Sabre, this was great information. Thank you so much for taking the time and doing this video with us.
Of course.
If there's anyone that wants to reach out to you, what's the best way of getting a hold of you?
My phone number is 832-330-2453. My email is also Sabre, which is SABRE.west@FNF, so that's FrankNancyFrank.com.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you again, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Okay, thank you, Peter.